Today's video is sponsored by Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint in Morgantown, West Virginia. The Magic Shine vehicle's care is their top priority. They use only the highest quality products to ensure your car not only looks its best, but is also protected and maintained with the utmost care. From window tinting with top-of-the-line Max Pro tint to protective ceramic coatings from Diamond Protect, they've got you covered. Drive in today and experience the difference at Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint, where your car shines like new. Shine on, Morgantown. What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. This is another edition of Hoops from the Hills, baby. Thank you guys for joining in. X account still not fixed. I even undid it, redid it. I've messaged people. I don't know what else to do about it, but it's affected me majorly here. So I'm going to have if you guys know how to get on country with support for X, I would appreciate somebody maybe, even if you can reach out to them for me and say, hey, and tag me, because I'm really fed up not being able to go live on there. So especially having paid for it. It'd be one thing if I didn't pay for it, but I paid for it. All right, so let's another episode starting off with me griping about that. But at the end of the day, guys, we had some pretty good news today. And Jacob Yoho, my apologies, man. I just can't find it. You know, I know how to add somebody on PlayStation. I have no idea what the EA thing even is. I don't. And I looked for it. I'm sorry. I got your name on there if I can figure out how to do it. Brandon Cook is on time. It's a miracle. Thanks, man. What's up, Timothy Green? News of the day. News of the weird. Okay, so if you didn't know, the Italy trip, they rolled out basically the press for that today. And so Coach Darren Devries, Tucker Devries, Javon Small, and there were probably even others, but those are the only ones I watched, spoke today. And so I'm going to put a few of those on, play a couple clips. Also, there's some stuff from West Virginia Sports Now that they have that shows some practice footage, just so we can check in and peek in on what the team is up to. And then the biggest piece of news is we got some Tucker DeVries news today on his shoulder. So stick around for that too. So let's move on. Don't forget, like the video, guys, if you can, as you come in. Hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. And as always, guys, leave a comment below after the fact or during. It doesn't matter. Let me know whether you agree or disagree with my takes today. All right, as we move over here to X, let me get the screen shared for us. Okay, so this is West Virginia Sports Now's, which is Mike Ostie that basically runs the thing. As you can see right here, you've got injury and recovery updates on Tucker DeVries and Joseph Yesufu. And then if you go down a little further, you've got watch WV's Darren DeVries and Tucker DeVries and Javon Small recap the summer. So I clicked on that, and it takes you over to a page where I probably should have went there anyway to begin with, but I was just trying to show you how to get there if you want to get there yourself. That shows this. Now, this is going to be a video of practice footage from today, or from the 23rd. So from today, we're going to check that out real quick. Nice defense.
Damn.
I'm going to stop that for just a second. This is a really intense practice. I'm telling you, very impressed. This is definitely my first look in at this practice session. Obviously, they're probably over communicating because there's cameras there, which is cool. But very intense so far. A couple things. Obviously, the news is out. If you're watching this, Tucker Devries is playing. And for those of you that don't know, he just had a shoulder surgery not even 4 or 5 months ago. So, we had Tucker on this show. He was gracious enough to come on. That was a fun deal. Still talk. I've been spoken with Javon Small. It's tough to get in touch with these guys because it's the middle of the summer. They're enjoying their off time, their free time. A lot of them don't do anything but play video games and shoot hoops. That's it. To be honest, it's a pretty great life. But so I'm impressed with what I see. Now it's going to look sloppy, guys, because this is basically 11 new guys playing together. If you see Ofri in there, he blocked a couple shots. That was pretty cool too. So really, really impressed so far with what I'm seeing out of these guys. JDK, how will we fight for rebounds without a big man in there? Well, actually, Coach DeVries answered that question today during his press conference. Obviously, when you have a size issue, you can't have an effort issue, right? So we've seen teams with size issues. Hey, David, no, I didn't. And that's unfortunately why we have 12 people in here right now. I don't know what else to do about it, At the end of the day, it's like 75% of my viewership. So, I've messaged them. I've reached out. I don't know what else to do. It's extremely frustrating for me, though. I'll tell you that. Let's see. Yeah, it won't let me. It won't let me go live. I wonder what happens if I click edit. Oh, okay. It just gives me the option to remove it. Okay. That's good. You must be, maybe you're answering something else because if you didn't hear me correctly, no, I did not get X ironed out. That's why we've only got 12 people in here right now. Normally we've got, I stay over 100 always during these lives. At least that. It's usually right at 100. which is nice. But what can I do here? I mean, at the end of the day, man, nobody's clicking on the video because I have moved my audience to X because that was the easiest place for everybody to find me. And that way you can catch me on either. But anyway, I can only talk about it so much before I'm going to run the 11 or 12 people I got left in here off. So Coach Devries talked about rebounding today in the press conference, and basically it's an effort issue. If obviously they do have some size. They've got a 6'11" big in I don't know if he's going to come off the bench or start. Most people think he'll come off the bench. The Fresno kid that transferred in, he's 6'11", 250. And then Monty Hansberry, he's right around that 6'7", 6'8". 6. Some people say 6'6", but to me, he looks pretty big and muscular, and he's definitely willing to fight. So I think it's a combination of effort, in size, obviously. But I mean, look at the greatest rebounder of all time, Dennis Rodman, was 6'8", 6'9", whatever he was. So just going to show you. Now, obviously, you have to have a basketball IQ. Coach Huggins preached inside and opposite, which means you want to get inside of your defender and on the opposite side of the rim that the shot's taken from. So if the shot's taken from let's say you're facing the basket, let's say the shot's taken from the right, you want to get in front, you want to put the guy behind you, and you want to be on the opposite side, because I don't know what the percentage is, let's say 75% of the time, a shot, if this is the rim, the shot will ricochet to the opposite end of the rim. So that's why Huggins preached that. I don't know what Darren Devries is going to preach, but I'm gonna just take a guess and say probably more along the lines of effort. I don't know how much inside opposite they preach, but I mean that's all coaches mention that, but some really, really, really pound that in. So let's finish watching this video really quick, and then we'll move on. Sincere Harris, right? So that's Imani Hansberry right there. That's one of our bigs. And he just shot it over our biggest big. And Andre. There's Andre. He's 6'11". Here he is. Here's Andre setting a screen for, I believe that's Sincere Harris. Let me go back and make sure and look at his jersey. Yeah, this is Sincere Harris with the ball in his hands, guys. Somebody I'm really high on. That's their Stone. There's an offensive rebound from Andre right there. So, he's got that ability to do that. Who was that? That's Toby. Sincere Harris, man. Ooh, that's no fun. There at the end, man. Good Lord. Did you see that? Tucker got cracked. Welcome in if there's a few new of you in here. Hey, what's up, Mr. Barparkle? David Friedline, thank you for sharing that to X, brother. Yeah, if you can reach out to X support for me, anybody that's in here right now, and just tag me at Paul Mountaineer on my X, which is, it's this right here, Mountaineer Paul at Paul Mountaineer. Because I've got 2,000 people in here, plus whoever shares it. But like, as you can see, like I posted these several hours ago, and not many people. I mean, we've got a couple reposts, which I think before, but there's just not much activity going on with it, and maybe it's because we're so close to football season too, probably playing a little bit of a part. But man, basketball was hot there for a while. I couldn't do a live for like 2-3 months without 200 people sometimes being in here, 300. So it's definitely a little bit of a drop off. But listen, I'm grateful for the guys, the ladies and guys that are in here. So I don't want to sit here and complain, guys. It's just, it's a competitive field, and I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forwards. So, that's all it is. All right, so let's go back here. All right, so one of thanks to Ethan Bach who wrote that. There's an article here, but he's getting some real inside stuff right here, man. No doubt. Pretty cool. From the looks of it, though, that's they look pretty sloppy, didn't they? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it kind of feels like they've got a lot of work to do. Now, the Tucker Devries situation, if you couldn't tell by the title, he's cleared for contact. He can play. As you can see, they're playing 5-on-5 with him right now. He's getting hit and all that. So he is obviously nowhere near game shape or ability yet, which is pretty much it showed. He's had surgery on his shooting shoulder. So I think it was a shooting shoulder. Even if it's your left hand, it's still going to affect it. But this team is obviously not at full strength without him at 100%. Obviously, for him to even be playing, he's got to be 75 or 80, though. Leo Cole, thank you, man. Appreciate that. What's up? So, now, obviously, there was the press conference with Coach Devries. Let me know down below real quick, guys. Do you guys want me to play some of that, or is that a little too boring for you? So, let me see. Just yes or no down in the chat box. Just let me know if you guys want to see some of that press conference or not. What? What's up, Civil Mark? Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it then really quick. We'll use, let's see. We'll use Blue Gold News. Put some dunks or block shots on a loop. Yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a few minutes of Adair Devries press conference. Um, not going to play the whole thing, but I'll fast forward through it here and there if it's like a question that is repeated, or because there was a couple questions that was basically the same deal. So, but we're going to let you hear his opening thoughts on everything, and he had a lot of cool stuff to say if you pay attention. So.
I mean, your thoughts of what you've seen, not just today in practice, but throughout the summer, what you've seen out of this group?
Yeah, the biggest thing, like when you have a whole group of new guys, it takes some time to figure each other out, both as coaches and players. As coaches, you're trying to figure out how to best utilize each guy's individual strengths and put them in the best position, and vice versa. The players are trying to figure out what you want from them. So I felt like over the 6-7 weeks, we've made some strides. The biggest thing is just you got to learn how, as a group, how to win together. And that's the part that takes probably the longest time. That's why I'm glad we get summer workouts to work through some of that stuff.
So what do you hope to get out of this tour? And how beneficial is it? Have you done one before? And how beneficial are they?
Yeah, I've been on several tours. They're a great opportunity, mostly from just a chance to go see the world. That's something a lot of these guys, myself included, may not ever get the chance to do, to go see places, like Italy, and but more importantly, just a chance to get to spend some time outside of basketball and in a different type of perspective with one another. And that's what I love about the timing of this trip for us. Got a whole new group, whole new staff. So get to go spend 10, 11 days on a trip is certainly good timing for us to get to know one each other on a more personal level outside of basketball.
We used to get a lot of value out of these, but it seems like now the way the practices are arranged and set up, it's not really the case anymore because everybody's practicing anyway, right?
Yeah, it used to be like this was a huge deal. Every 4 years you get those 10 extra practices because you didn't get access or you only had 2 hours a week. Now with 4 hours a week, you get those 10 extra practices, but you can go a little longer, like a day like today where this is our Italy practice, so to speak. So now you can extend it a little longer, do a few more things. But it's not quite as valuable, but still some benefit. Allowed us to put in maybe some things, do a little extra film work, that type of stuff in the middle of the summer.
You're trying to bring all of this together. In your opinion, what are some of the biggest obstacles you're going through with trying to get all of these guys to gel together?
Yeah, it's mentioned early. It's just making, helping us create our identity. What do we want that to be every single day, and what does that look like? And like I've told them, a day like today, or even when we just have a fan or a supporter come by and watch us, they should be able to leave and know what our identity is. And
So I already feel like personally. Oh, I just saw this, Mr. Barparkle. Thank you. I'll get your super chat in 1 second. Let me get this point out. So just from what I saw, the practice footage that I've seen today, I can already guarantee you I can put a stamp on this team's identity, at least part of it, and that is effort. I mean, they really were putting a lot of effort. And look, you never know when the cameras aren't there what it looks like. But I would venture to say, just with some pretty decent confidence, that it probably doesn't fall off too much from what we saw today. Number one, they're all new, trying to prove each other to each other. He goes on to say in this interview here, white jersey, blue jersey, doesn't matter, right? And so I think you have to look into that a little deeper because these guys are all new to each other and against each other for the most part. Some have played against each other, whether it be Tucker and his buddy Jay that came with him, Dylan Jay or whatever his name is, or even like Toby O'Connie and Tucker who played each other, but it's rare. So point being is these guys, they're all really trying to get to know each other. And so it's kind of like almost like banging clay against each other, or I mean, not clay, but Play-Doh against itself. until it forms into something. So I don't know how good that analogy was, but that's the best I had off the top of my head. Mr. Barfarkle, thank you. After all the portal moves, how much better do you think WB basketball will be? I think they're a fringe tournament team this year. I do. I really do think they'll make the tournament. It's year one, so to me that's a resounding success if they do that. For Tucker, because I'm such a big fan of his, he's come on this show. He's been good to us. His family's been good to me. With whether it be Dusty or Jared, willing to come on this show. They're so accessible. And such a good group of dudes. And I'm sure that extends on out. But for Tucker especially, I want them to do better than just the tournament. I'd love to see him make a deep run and get his name really on draft boards, because he's fallen off some draft boards because of the surgery. I don't think that will last. Listen, he came back quick from this surgery, very quick. He's like a few months ahead of time. We didn't think he was going to make the Italy trip 4 months ago. So Tucker is really, really killing it. So to answer your question, though, better? Oh, way better than last year's team. It's not even going to be close because they're not dealing with the same set of circumstances. Last year's team in this year's circumstances is probably 5 or 10 wins better, Mr. Barfarkle, because think about everything they had to deal with. I mean, I've listed it off several times. I need to write it down someday because I'm going to end up forgetting things, but obviously the Huggins saga. Then you go into all the players that came and left, whether that be via transfer portal or kicked off the team. The Jose Perez scenario was weird. You had the injuries and the timings of the injuries with Jesse Edwards breaking his wrist. Just as the other two guys in Raekwon Battle and Noah Farrakhan were cleared, and so it was just a very disjointed. And then to beat it all these coaches were in their first couple of years of coaching high major basketball at the level that they were. Obviously, the very first year as a head coach for Josh Hyler. And so there was no way for that team to succeed no matter the talent level. Because, look, they had talent, and I think they needed more experience and less consequences, because they were absolutely destroyed by some of the worst luck you'll ever see a team go through. I would go on record and say probably at least definitely at West Virginia, the most snake-bitten team in our program's history. That's basketball, football, name it, in a season. They had so much happen, and that's not even counting the Raekwon Battle court case. Him having to go to court to even be eligible after being denied several times, what looked like an open and shut case. People on the outside from ESPN were saying, why is he not approved? It's quite obvious that he needs to be playing ball for his mental health and other things. Why is this not happening? So, thank you for sending out a $10 super chat. Say all that to say, there's no way this team should be worse. They just had too much happen to them last year, Mr. Barfarkle. Absolutely. The same here, Timothy. Eric Flowers agrees with you. This team is already has a better chance than last year's team because they get to go over and play, and they don't have distractions like last year's team. Basically, that's exactly what I say in the nutshell. That's it, So let's get back to Coach Devries' press conference and watch a couple more minutes of that. And then we'll click on Tucker's as well for a few minutes before we get off here.
If they can't, then we're not there yet. And so we're still working on that, with what that looks like. But we want people to leave our gym and talk about how hard we play, talk about how much energy and enthusiasm we play with, how connected we are. And those are the type of things that take time. Right now in the summertime, you have a lot of thinking taking place. So sometimes it's hard to play fast and free when you're having to process, stuff in your mind because you get you bogged down, trying to learn new plays, new terminology, when you only have, essentially one guy, which was Tucker.
Mark, thank you. Mark said he's matching any super chats that come through. That's extremely nice. Once again, you're doing that. I can't thank you enough, brother. Really, I can't. Really, really nice of you. You're always really good to me, man, and I appreciate the heck out of that. So it makes me happy, because the way the channel's going right now with not able to stream to anywhere but YouTube, and I've basically moved everybody off of YouTube, so it's hurting me. So that, trust me, bro, I appreciate that $10 super chat. But Mark said he's matching any super chat that comes through. Certainly not trying to apply pressure to anybody. I understand everybody's got bills to pay, but if you want to help the show out, hit the super chat button. Also, if you want to help me out through another means, my cash tag is ROCKEL 85. Mr. Markle said, I just want to say Hugs is a good man with a bad disease. It's important to keep Huggy's legacy, one of a Hall of Fame coach and a great West Virginian. I do agree. Mr. Markle, I'm the last person that would get up here and say anything about that because of my past, obviously. The disease of addiction definitely kicked my butt. So I'm grateful that I am 5 years into sobriety, but consequences had to happen for me to come to those conclusions. And, I can't say that I ever had anything happen quite like Bob Huggins did. So, I think he's probably had a wake-up call, and I agree with you. The great West Virginian, he carried the banner for our state like nobody else could or would. And so I totally agree with what you say. Hey, here we go, Mark. We got somebody. Eric Flowers with a $10 super chat, man. Thanks, brother. I do appreciate that very, very much, man. That's super nice of you. You guys never cease to make me feel better, man. Well, at least we got one, Mark. All right, so let's watch a little bit more of this. I can't think of anything to note to fast forward to. I just didn't have time to look at the timestamp, but I think Devries, it's a pretty good interview overall.
That knows any of the stuff that we ran before. Everybody's learning new stuff. Even some of the good portion of the staff is learning, new terminology, new ways that we're trying to do things. So again, it's a process that takes some time. That's why I'm glad we don't play till November.
The energy that you talk about trying to bring with the team, how much of that also kind of goes into, look, we got to get these guys to play harder because, it looks like you guys are going to be smaller compared to most, Big 12 teams.
Yeah.
And you got to make up for that somehow.
Yeah. Size is, love to have size, and sometimes you don't have it. So how do you offset it? And like you said, it's there's still a physicality that can make.
Chris, I didn't know that. I don't have my thing plugged into. I don't have it plugged into the directly. I need to do that. I keep forgetting to do that. My apologies that it was choppy. I didn't know that. So let me try to play it again. Let me know if it's still choppy. Let me try to play it again, and then I'll show you how to watch it. The best way to is Sports Now. But let me try to play it one more time before you leave, guys. Maybe I can get it to work. Thank you for matching the $10 super chat. Mark is matching all super chats that come in, which is awesome. All right, let me try one more time, guys. I didn't realize it was so choppy. All right. Well, I clicked the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Try that. Let me try that one more time. Here it is, I think. Well, thought that was it. There it is. I found it now. Good Lord. They put out so many articles all of a sudden that it was hard to see them all. All right. Let's try one more time. Is it still choppy? Robert Kiefover, thank you for a $9.99 super chat. Wow, you guys are just shooting through, aren't you? I really appreciate that, man. Mark, we got another one, don't we? I didn't think that. Honestly, you've said it a couple times, and hadn't worked before, but it did this time. I'm really happy. Thank you. Yeah, but let me know if it's still choppy, guys. Still choppy. Well, West Virginia Sports Now.com has it. Don't know how to do $9.99. Yeah. Well, I apologize, y'all. I didn't realize it was still choppy. Well, here's what I'll do. Let's see. I'll toss in. Here you go. Don't everybody leave all at once. But there's the there is the link. Let me get back to Coach Devries' press conference instead. We'll watch some 1 or 2 more minutes of that, and then I'll switch over to Tucker's. Oh crap! What I do?
You want to start? Okay. Well, Coach, who's that?
That can make that a more even benchmark for us, and that's the piece that we're growing into and learning to understand is like if we're going to be undersized, you got to do certain things to make sure that we can still survive on the glass, to make sure we can survive guarding the ball, whatever those things may be. But and there aren't any shortcuts to it, and even in a scrimmage like today where you see one team get up by 17, 18. They're making shots. The other team wasn't, but it's more about how do you stay in those games when you're not making shots. And that's why you have to rely on your defense. You have to rely on rebounding because you're not going to shoot it well every night. So you need to be able to stay in those games and find a different way to win. And that's the best formula is to guard better and rebound better.
Scrimmage catch your eye or surprised by the score at all? Or
not really. I mean, it's. I think it's great for us. You get it on film. It's great teaching moments to why does one score look this way? Why does the other score look the other way? And then you grow from that. And that's why these are fun to do in the summertime because they don't get talked about quite as much in the paper the next day. So.
Watching your drills and seeing how they fold into, obviously 3-on-3 and then on to 5-on-5. Is there a place where you start to know, hey, they're starting to get it because they're really sharp at the drills and you see it carrying over? And obviously, at one point you emphasized, hey, we're not bringing that over to this 5-on-5 session.
Yeah. And part of it, and it's nobody's fault. You know, in summertime we don't do a ton of conditioning, so they're not in great shape. And you can see that, you know, we go through the drill work. We try to do it at fairly up-tempo pace and speed. And when we get to that 5-on-5, you know, portion of it, we're not quite there to compete at the highest level we need to yet. Some of that's conditioning, and then the rest of that's the hardest part of basketball, is taking it from the half court, taking it from drill work, and now making that carry over into your 5-on-5 play. And that's the piece that takes the longest, is to get to that part.
Are you starting to see him learn?
Trying to find where he talks about the injuries here.
Our identity should shine through consistently enough, and then for a Big 12 championship, you're trying to be in that top 10%, you know, of everybody in the country. So what separates you from what everybody else is doing?
Really mix and match your lineups.
Yeah, in Italy, it'll be, I mean, we'll just throw different lineups there just to get a look at different things. Some guys will play more or less. We'll try to play the younger guys a little more just to get them some.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and watch. We almost had Shane Gillis as Donald Trump. Yeah, I saw that. Kill Tony at the Mothership. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I know. Love that show. So let me get Tucker's interview pulled up here. We'll hear him talk about the shoulder for a second, and then be done.
Talk to your dad. You talked about your shoulder a little bit in your rehab since you've been back about a week full go. How's it feel? How'd the rehab go? How do you feel now?
Shoulder's been good. I've had, no real problems with it. I think most of it now is just getting back into game shape and honestly even practice shape.
Thanks, Mr. Kiefer.
But it's also kind of a mental thing of just trying to trust it again. Battled it for most of the part of the season, so I was protecting it a lot and just trying to get back to the point where I can, not even think about what I'm doing with it and just trusting that, it's healthy now, because it is. And, I think each day that I'm out there, I'm feeling more and more comfortable and, ready to, get back out there.
Rehab, like, were you able to do cardio, I assume? Any strength? What were you able to do during the rehab?
The first month was literally nothing. It was just kind of braced up. And then it was in about another 2 to 3 weeks before you could run, jump. And then once you kind of hit that point, it was, kind of got to build back up into it. Can't just go, run a bunch of sprints first day. But I think it's gradually gotten better, and obviously got a long ways to go as far as conditioning wise. But it's certainly improved in the last week, and I think it's came back a little quicker than I was expecting, and continue to work to get to that point that I need to be at.
So that's extremely good. I mean, look. I'd be lying if I told you I thought he would be back this quick. I don't know how. I haven't texted him to ask. I will text him and ask what he attributes it to. We'll see what he says. Let me text him right now. I'll text Tucker and see what he says. See what he attributes the shoulder recovery to. I don't expect he'll get back to me while I'm live, but you never know. To know what you I said, told him I'm live, and then I asked him, what does he attribute his speedy shoulder recovery to? Okay, we'll see what he says. Never know. All right, guys. So, yeah, if you're watching this stream, real quick, I can't go live on X, which is hurting me. And if you don't care, I'm going to post my tag down here in the comment bar. Let's see, at Paul Mountaineer. Mark said it's because he did a live with Hoops from the Hills. Yep, damn right. So that's my tag on X. If you copy that, you can paste it right in, and just everybody go type to at X Premium, I think it is, or some people say you could even say something to Elon Musk. Just say, hey, this guy paid for his premium and he still can't go live through StreamYard or on YouTube. Or just have him, because I've tried. I can't get him to respond to me. So hopefully we get this fixed over the next week or so, guys. That way we can have a little bit more lively chats. But it's not the end of the world. Timothy said, I'm extremely impressed and very glad Tucker is back so early. This can only be good things for Mountaineer basketball. Absolutely. Agreed. All right, guys. Well, if you want to watch anything that I played today, you can see it all on YouTube pretty much. Blue Gold News. I want to thank them for the Tucker interview on there. There are others that have it. West Virginia Sports Now had the practice footage and everything else associated with that. I want to thank all those outlets for posting that stuff so I could use it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I think there's one other thing I wanted to get to really quick if I can find it. Let me see. 1 second, guys. I think they. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find it here. I thought they posted the schedule. Yeah, here they did. Well, I don't know. It's on West Virginia SI here. Mountaineers are gearing up for their 3-game trip across the pond. Let's see what it says. Okay, yeah, so there is something here. I'm going to read this really quick before we go, and then we'll jump off here. Mountaineers will face BC Zalgiris Kudas -2 on the 3rd at 12:30 p.m. in Genoa, Italy. And they'll take on Orange One Bassano on August 6th in Florence and wrap things up with Stella #EBK on the 8th at 12 p.m. Eastern in Rome. Wow. That was a little bit of a mouthful there. So just wanted to post that really quick, guys. That way you know who they're playing, some foreigners and foreign teams and whatnot. So should be pretty fun to hear how those games play out. Until then, guys, thank you for joining this episode of Hoops from the Hills. Thank you to the channel sponsor, Magic Shine. But until then, guys, this episode is over, and I know.